This mic is working. Okay, so have a seat. So we talk about adversity throughout the school year, and this is just another example. Okay, we evidently a transformer down the road is blown out, so it's a little darker than we were anticipating. The slideshow won't work if there's no power, but we'll be sure to email that out to folks. And we have a battery-operated mic. We're going to do our best. So, just like anything else, we're going to rise to the challenge. So, welcome. Thank you all for coming. I would like to start the ceremony this afternoon with a moment of silence for those affected by the tragedy of Uvalde, Texas. So, if you could join me in that. Great to see everyone here in person today. I know that hasn't been the case very often those past few years. But good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to the 31st Annual Hebron Academy Middle School End of Ceremony. Our 31st year at Hebron has been a banner year. We had 60 students total in our middle school. That's the largest ever. Between our 6th and 7th grades. These students came from all over the world, including Mexico, China, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. via Burundi, Africa. And some students came from as close as next door to where we are right now. So this is a wonderfully diverse and unique group of students. And tonight we want to celebrate those successes and the great year that we've all had together. So of course, much of this year wasn't without its challenges. We were still dealing within the confines of COVID, masking indoors, masking on vans, frequent testing, and quite a few limitations on what we could do. But here we are tonight with family and friends, and no summer mask. We are here in person, so we are grateful for that. It was a team effort this year to keep us all safe. Students, teachers, family members, and parents, we thank you all for your help throughout this year. We are grateful to be in a more positive situation that we are in now. So I've really enjoyed looking back and reminiscing about this school year and looking at the photos in the slideshow from the start of the year. It's really incredible how much these students have grown, literally, physically this year, to be look back in September. It's been a great year, and I can remember clearly at the start of the year the orientation trips that we did. One of those trips was a hike up Cinch Bowl Mountain. And they're just all still getting to know each other, and we went for this hike. And there were some challenging sections on that hike. Some of you have done it. And we knew this hike probably wasn't the first thing that these students would choose to be doing, but they took the challenge head on. And when we got to the top, a student who I just met looked out at the expansive view, turned to me and said, "This is so beautiful." And I knew that it was going to be a great year. So this year we've had two recurring themes that we have focused on throughout the year. Students, what are they? Two recurring themes. Yes? Gratitude. Kindness and gratitude. I'm glad you didn't leave me hanging. I was nervous there for a minute. Yes, kindness and gratitude. I put you on the spot with that. So earlier this year, around Thanksgiving break, each of these students shared something that they were grateful for. Now, some of these things were basic to survival, such as access to food and clean water, and shelter and warmth. But many expressed gratitude for things that give us a deeper connection, like pets and friends, and the opportunity to attend a school like Hebron Academy. And the number one thing that these students mentioned that they were grateful for, their families. Nice work, parents. These students realize why having an attitude of gratitude matters so much. It reminds us what is important in life, to recognize what we have and what we are grateful for, and to acknowledge those people who provide all that we are grateful for. This can remind us what to focus on when we feel lost or overwhelmed. We all have a great deal that we can be thankful for, and we all have many people to thank for contributing for all that we have. So now, fast forward to the spring, and during our morning meetings, each of our 8th grade students did a reading for the school. We call these readings the 8th grade reads, or as one student likes to call them, the very first last words. These readings have become an annual component of Hebron's Words program. We were all very impressed with these 8th graders' poise, confidence, and their thoughtful ideas. There were many wise words that came from these young adults. Here's just a sampling. Don't be afraid to try new things. Try your best, and don't be afraid to fail, as you learn by failing. Be grateful for what you have, and share that gratitude with others. Use your time wisely, and take advantage of the opportunities given to you. Take time to appreciate the little things in life, and be kind. Your life will not be in vain if you have been kind. Now, as you have heard, many of these readings touch on those familiar themes, kindness and gratitude. Parents, I hope your children shared some of the kind words that their classmates wrote about them during our kindness activity that we did during this spring and morning meeting. Like so much else in life, being kind and giving compliments takes practice and effort. And it is our hope that these students will continue to practice kindness and gratitude as they grow and move throughout their lives. It will make a big difference. So now, continuing with an attitude of gratitude, on behalf of the faculty and staff at Hebron Academy, I'd like to share some gratitude for the people that have helped to make this year such a success. First, I'd like to express our sincerest thanks to the parents and grandparents and family members of our students. Your children are terrific, and we are thankful that you have shared them with us. I know this has been a difficult year for you, as you haven't had the same access to our school as you would in a typical year, though we hope we are past the worst of that. Yet through it all, you have supported our focus on health and safety, and you have supported our work with your children. It is with your help that we have had such a successful year. Thank you, parents and family members. With a round of applause. I would also like to thank my colleagues, all the teachers and staff members of our school. You teachers are the heart and soul of this school, and you make it the incredible place that it is. It is your energy, enthusiasm, and patience that is greatly appreciated by all of us. And I know all of us in this room right now are grateful for all that you've done for these students. We have seen many changes over the past year or two, but what hasn't changed is that you have all gone above and beyond to guide and inspire these students, and to help them feel safe, appreciated, nurtured, and engaged. Thank you, teachers. How about a big round of applause for our teachers? And now on to our students. You students have accomplished a great deal this year, and you've worked hard, and you've grown and matured, and you all have a great deal about which you can be proud. You have faced challenges, you've adapted and adjusted how you've gone about things, and you've taken advantage of the opportunities given to you, just like the 8th graders said. And we all know that the end of any school year is a really busy time. And this year was no exception, that's for sure. Might even be one of the busiest yet. Take, for example, an experience I had recently. So one day last week, I'm getting ready for school. I was rushing to leave the house as usual. I had to get everything I needed. I had to get my school bag packed, my snacks. I had to have a change of clothes because I was playing drums in the musical review rehearsal. So I had to have my jeans and my sweatshirt. Changed my dog's water. I got her all set. And of course, all this time I was checking my phone for any updates I might need to be aware of before I got to school. So I finally get out the door. I'm in my car. I'm back out of the driveway. I'm driving down to the road. And I said, it feels kind of funny on my pedal. My feet on my pedals feel a little funny. I look down. I still have my slippers on. So that is a sign that I had too much on my mind and too much going on. So I go back in the house, put my shoes on, and get the shoes I was going to wear. I get back in the car, and I'm driving to work. And I think, like, what would have happened if I had gone to school with my slippers on? And I smiled because I pictured myself walking up to the 3rd floor, and 8th graders, right? You know who I would see on the 3rd floor before 8:30. And if I had my slippers on, would I have been embarrassed or felt bad and want to leave? And I wouldn't. I would have laughed, right? Because I would have had a fun day. We all would have had a big laugh about it. So that made me feel really good. I'm grateful for the job that I have, and I'm grateful to work with you all. So I think that says a lot about these students. So thank you, students. Thank you for your hard work, your effort, and of course your sense of humor. I know I speak for all of our teachers when I can say that you keep us young and inspired. How about a round of applause for our students? to recognize each of our students in just a little bit, but right now the 8th graders have some recognitions of their own that they would like to share. So 8th graders, it's a little dark up here, but you can do this, right? So I would like to call up Alfred and Wolfie.
Hi, my name's Alfred.
Hi, my name is Wolfie.
There's a person that I respect a lot, my good friend Mr. H.
Mr. Hensley is someone I know I can always talk to.
He's my advisor.
He is also my advisor.
When I have a bad day, Mr. Hensley's advisory can always make me feel better.
I know I can always count on my advisor to give me good advice for school.
I just want to say thank you to Mr. H for being such a good advisory and taking such a good care of me in my dorm. One day we needed to dress up, but we don't have good clothing. He got us tie and good clothes.
I would like to thank Mr. Hensley as well for being my advisor, giving me advice and taking my fun when I need it taken away.
Come on, Wolfie. So let's see. Next is Pato and Ole.
Mr. Hall has been my teacher all this year. I am really happy about that. He has taught me many things in English, from how to pronounce to how I learn vocabulary. I want to thank Mr. Hall for having a big heart. He always thinks for us first. He always tries his best for us to learn more. Thanks Mr. Hall for being a patient with us and always pushing us to do better, for trying different methods for us to learn easier, and overall being a great caring teacher.
Mr. Gao is an incredible teacher that has helped me since early in the year. I think he is very compassionate teacher, and as he always helps with everything I ask or need, I like it when he does funny things, like playing Kahoot or playing spoons. He teaches in a very fun way and in a very efficient way. A very special moment that I shared with him was a day in Explore where we were playing baseball. That was a very good day. I hope the best for him, and I appreciated him a lot as a teacher.
Hello, my name is Terry. Miss Gao, no, sorry. Miss Gao is the best teacher in our science and English classes. She helped me so much in English. When I couldn't understand what questions mean, Miss Gao would describe what they meant. When I couldn't understand what the worksheet meant, she would give me her worksheet and let me study. She would believe me, no, sorry. She always believed in me and supported my opinions.
Miss Gao is a very good teacher, and I always look forward to her class. She always helps us learn new words, and we always do very fun projects. My favorite project in class was the water club. I had the most fun while doing this activity. I would not have any other teacher than Miss Gao. Miss Gao teaching us because she always had us watching videos about the topic we are talking about, and always made us smile. On Friday, we watched a movie. She made class more interesting, different, and always fun and funny. One of my favorite memories is when we were at Explore and we bought something to hold our phones. That was really fun because we laughed a lot. Miss Gao, thank you for helping me of learning this year. Emily Kimball.
That's actually really good. A common alliteration Mr. Bates would comment after the first day of a new art project. Over time, after figuring out each of us individually, his remark turned into, "That's perfect." Whether it's our aptitude, ability, in art, or just Mr. Bates, our twice-a-week class was never enough. There's no wonder Mr. Bates was explicitly selected to be an art teacher here at Hebron Academy, as new, creative ideas and projects were always ensured in his class. His neutral viewpoint and youthfulness brought closeness to our opposed generation and constructed what I believe a closer relationship to our class, ability, and at individual levels and interests. Between starting in the middle of the year and our occasional snow days, I only had a limited time to get to know Mr. Bates. Though, with his gratifying disposition and time management, made time no barrier to enjoy the time spent in the classroom and make the acquaintance with Mr. Bates. Art was consistently a hidden interest. However, I was always intimidated by the outcome. I can proudly say Mr. Bates was the one to nurture and make that talent thrive. He supported and challenged every minor idea and could make an artist even out of an athlete. Mr. Bates is a responsible and attentive person, even over his laid-back and fun exterior. His unprompted decision to go out in the rain for an hour and a half one Thursday afternoon to make art in the near woods manifests the proposal of his spontaneous character, which emanates from his idea to have 6 ducklings when in college. Who really knows the in-depth reason to why? The short time in Mr. Bates' class proves why quality will always be more than quantity. Mr. Bates is one of the most exceptional teachers and people as a whole. I only wish future success and prosperity for your future back in Colorado. I will never forget the impact you made on me and every fortunate student that was able to have you in their presence in and out of the classroom. Thank you for this year and the opportunities you have made possible. Sylvia and Brody.
Before Miss Hemmings became my Spanish teacher, I was never really interested in learning another language. I had taken other languages, such as French and Latin. However, I had never become interested in pursuing a foreign language beyond the class. This year, I have come to love learning Spanish, and I think the biggest reason for this is Miss Hemmings. Miss Hemmings is one of my favorite teachers. She is both professional and fun. She lets us do Spanish Wordle every day before class, while at the same time, she keeps us on task and focused. Miss Hemmings makes classes engaging by having us do interactive activities and projects. Last fall, when I was considering going to a different school, I asked Miss Hemmings to write me a letter of recommendation. I did decide to stay at Hebron, and Miss Hemmings was a big part of that decision. I'm incredibly grateful to her for all she's done for me. Thank you, Miss Hemmings, for helping me find out how much I love learning languages, and for being one of the most amazing teachers I've ever had.
One of my favorite memories with Miss Hemmings is when we took a class trip to Luchador Tacos during X Block to get burritos. We all joked about Miss Hemmings being a mother to 8 children. There was also the occasional, "Get in, girls, we're going shopping." All jokes aside, Miss Hemmings was probably one of the best teachers I've ever had, and probably will have. Thank you for a great year, Miss Hemmings.
While Miss Leach was not one of my teachers this year, I still enjoyed seeing her around campus and our passing conversations. Miss Leach was my English teacher last year, and her class was my absolute favorite. I love doing grammar fails at the beginning of every lesson and all the funny sentences she found for us to correct. Another thing I really liked about her class was how we did not have any tests. Instead, she came up with fun and engaging projects for us to do. I was never bored when Miss Leach was teaching, and appreciated how she made a new slideshow every week for the entire school year. Even though Miss Leach wasn't my teacher this year, I still remember all the fun times I had in her English class and hope to have her again as my teacher in the future.
I had Miss Lees as my English teacher in 7th grade, and I loved her class. She brought real and difficult issues into the classroom, which, though hard to talk about, introduced a new perspective on many matters. We had a weekly tournament called Grammar Fail, which was a perfect mix of wildly fun and aggravatingly competitive. Whenever I bump into Miss Lees on campus this year, she always brightens my day with her cheery but honest disposition. She isn't the type to pretend everything is unicorns and rainbows, but Miss Lees is still one of the most cheery and genuinely kind people I know. I missed having her this year as a teacher, and I look forward to having her again in high school. Great.
Miss Paulson is a very good health and wellness teacher. It is personally one of my favorite classes. I like how Miss Paulson takes into account how the class feels. If the class is hungry, Miss Paulson lets us go to lunch early. If the class is tired, she gives us less work. If we are energetic, she gives us the choice to go to the gym and release all our energy. Miss Paulson is a very funny teacher, always making practical jokes to make the class more fun. Miss Paulson is also kind and makes sure to ask how we are doing and checking in on how we feel. If one of my classmates is feeling down, she will pull them aside and ask if they're okay. Even though she has to deal with how annoying we can be, Miss Paulson makes class fun.
I've had 3 different PE teachers here at Hebron, and it is clear for me to see how great Miss Paulson is with teaching PE and health and wellness class. Miss Paulson is easy to talk to, kind, and not a pushover. She is able to manage the class's energy while still keeping what we are learning fun. In gym class, we have spent the entire lesson talking while walking around the track. There aren't many teachers that I find so easy to talk to as Miss Paulson. In health and wellness a couple months ago, I hurt my knee during a game, and I was worried that I really messed it up. Once I did what Miss Paulson told me to do, whatever was wrong went away immediately. This is all to say, Miss Paulson is very knowledgeable, interesting, empathetic, and one of my favorite teachers. I really hope I can see her again during high school.
I like Mr. Kangas because he is always funny. One of my favorite things is when he answers a yes or no question with a color, which I think is hysterical. He makes the class work fun and inclusive with lots of group work. Truthfully, Mr. Kangas is one of my favorite teachers. I can honestly say that I really like his class, and it is really fun. One of my favorite memories is the egg drop. My partner and I made a fabulous container on our egg. The really funny part is, Mr. Kangas correctly predicted when our egg would break, so thank you for a fun physics classes here.
Mr. Kangas is always a positive teacher in class and out of class. Mr. Kangas is a very good science teacher, and he always seems to make me laugh. One of my favorite memories was the egg drop, since I always liked activities where we had to build stuff. That's one of my favorite things about Mr. Kangas, is he always had some of the coolest projects for us to do, like the spaghetti building project, the egg drop project, the colorblind project, and the amusement park project, which was our most recent one. Mr. Kangas is also a huge Pokemon Go player. It's kind of funny how much he actually doesn't stop playing this game. He has 2 phones just so he can trade with himself in-game. My hope for Mr. Kangas is that he has a good experience here at Hebron and continues to teach here. Thank you, Mr. Kangas, and have a great summer break. teacher and soccer coach you can have. I remember in 6th grade soccer how Mr. B was always there to make sure everyone was having fun by telling jokes and making fun activities. Plus, he always had a good attitude no matter what. The first day of 6th grade was probably not too long ago, but feels like it's been forever. And I remember Mr. B said that your first Mr. B snack was free, which was amazing to me. I also remember the first day of every school year in middle school, Mr. B made these activities in the bowl where you would learn each other's name, which I always thought was fun. One of my favorite memories with Mr. B is probably the trip to Boston we had last week. I remember the work Mr. B put in to make sure that we all had a good time. 7th grade kickball was one of the best activities we got to have. I remember how excited I was whenever we would kick a home run while the plates were loaded. I also remember that Mr. B was the all-time pitcher, and sometimes he would let other people pitch, but I still favored Mr. B as the all-time pitcher rather than anyone else pitching. I hope that the new middle schoolers who will be coming to Hebron have a great time and will be able to meet Mr. B. I also want to congratulate Mr. B because next year, Mr. B will be the next teacher on the 25-year anniversary ball for teachers who have worked here for 25 years. Have a good summer.
The first time I met Mr. Brower was the first day of 6th grade. I don't remember much about that day, only that I was very nervous and the fact that Mr. B could not pronounce my name. Instead of Genevieve, he called me Guinevere. But if it was not for Mr. B, my Hebron years would not be the same. My 6th grade year took a turn, as COVID hit and everyone was wondering if and how we would go back to in-person classes. When we finally returned to my 7th grade year, everything was different. We had to stay 6 feet apart and everyone was masked. I remember thinking, this is going to be the worst school year ever. But as soon as everyone got back on campus, Mr. B had already planned out activities and games to play for the upcoming weeks. Some of these took place over the whole year, from our kickball tournaments to wall ball in between classes. I think I can speak for everyone that he made the 7th grade year more enjoyable. My 8th grade year, Mr. B has helped me through a lot. He planned an amazing 8th grade trip and always had ideas and fun things to do. Not only is he an amazing person, but he has spectacular soccer skills, knowing just about any and all the rules. My favorite memory from Mr. B is my 6th grade year when he took us to the Freiburg Fair. Then later that day we had a soccer game. I'll just say it did not go as planned. I want to thank him for always making me laugh and always being able to have a good conversation. He always brings out the best in us, and he is someone I look up to greatly. Mr. B, I hope you have an amazing summer. Thank you for everything you've done for me in the middle school.
Miss Alt has been a great advisor since day one. She has always been there for us and helped us with everything we did. Apart from being a great advisor, she is a great person. She is caring and always encourages to do our best. She also always tries to make sure we have the best time by asking for our opinions about what we want to do. She makes advisories fun by playing games or taking us to Dunkin'. I remember the first day I got to Hebron and got to meet her. That day I was extremely scared because this was all new to me. When I went to talk to her, she told me she was also scared because it was her first year too. That helped me relax a bit because I realized many people were in the same situation. In the end, it turned out great because we got to learn together and from our mistakes. I just wanted to say thank you, Miss Hall, for being a great advisor, a great lead, and a great person, for always helping us and for always bringing out the best in us.
I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who has made my past 3 years at Hebron amazing. But I want to give a great thanks to my advisor, Miss Hall. I remember the first time I met her. I had no clue where I was supposed to go or be. I walked into the dining hall only knowing a few people from the previous years. When I finally found my advisory, I sat down at the table. I had no clue who any of these people were, or even who my advisor was. But in that same day, I got to know everyone, and later find out some of them will become my closest friends at Hebron. Miss Alt is great at making us feel like a big family. She's not only caring and one of the funniest people I know, but she is also someone who you can have a wonderful conversation with, even if we get off topic. Some of my favorite memories with Miss Alt are when she brought us to Dunkin', helped hang her Christmas lights up, or all the times she brought snacks to advisory. She didn't need to do any of these things, but she took her time to make stuff the best year we could at Hebron. Thank you so much, Miss Alt, for helping me achieve all my goals this year. And thanks for being an amazing advisor in person. I wish you the best.
Thank you very much, Ms. Park, for always giving us a class in which we could rest a little after having a hard day, and making us feel comfortable in a relaxing and learning environment. I think I have learned a lot about musicals. For example, I learned a lot about the Broadway musical, The Lion King, and I enjoyed making a Google Doc in which I presented all dates, facts, and information about The Lion King. I also want to congratulate you because of your performance in the spring show. Thank you for everything you've done for me and my classmates this year.
Ms. Park, thank you so much for this great year, for being a kind, wonderful teacher. Thank you for always making your classes fun and enjoyable while we learn something new. Whether it's about an instrument or a musical, or your classes always turn out different, and I love that. The time when we learned how to play the ukulele, I remember the whole class was in their own world and imagining they were playing great. But let's be honest, it sounded awful. But we all had a great time and it helped us bond in our first days. So thank you for that. I think that it's great how you always try to make us have a great time, either in your class or outside of class, like with your participation in the musical, where we all had a laugh. Overall, thank you, Ms. Park, for being a great and amazing teacher.
Mr. Ruiz was my history teacher, and he was sometimes on duty instead of on call floor 1. We started our relationship because we showered with very loud music that the bathroom was about to explode. We were all laughing, singing, banging the walls, and having a good time. Mr. Ruiz had to take our speaker or tell us to lower the volume. But not everything in the dorms was chaotic. There were times that we also talked about life and his grandchildren. In class, I didn't do very well in history. First of all, because I hate reading. And second of all, because history class relaxed me and made me think about life and other things. In mid-school year, I was almost failing. And after I had a serious talks with Mr. Rees and Mr. Brower, they told me that I needed to put in all my effort. So in the last quiz, I improved my grade a lot. Even though we might have been difficult to deal with, I think we made a good and strong relationship in class and in the dorm. Thank you, Mr. Rees, for everything.
Mr. Ruiz was also my history teacher, but our relationship started when I had a C- in his class. And I said, it is impossible to get that grade higher. He said, Joaquin, you are very intelligent, and I know this because when I see you acting in the first floor, you always know what you're doing, so I know you can do better. After that, I still thought I was not going to be able to pass US history. I eventually got my grade higher, like he said, and realized that I had a lot of potential in me. Even though I had to sit in his class for 45 minutes and hear him talk about US history, and had to deal with him in the dorms, I eventually realized that every time he was quarreling with me and saying I could do better in class was for my own good. Mr. Rees just wanted to make me a better person, which he did, by the way. I want to thank you for this amazing year and how much you taught me over the year. I hope that even though I might have been annoying for you this year, you will still remember the good memories we had over the year. Thank you, Mr. Rees.
I am writing about a teacher who has always made sure that I am the best version of myself. They're always there for me whenever I'm not feeling my best or whenever I'm lacking energy, and they're always so understanding when I have an issue. The teacher I'm referring to is our very own Mix Doobie. Mix Doobie is the best at cheering us up whenever we need it, and I truly admire how they're always in the best mood. They're always up to the idea of an adventure and going out of our normal school day to spend some time in nature. They like the idea of making their class a time for us to enjoy and take a break from all the work we have. Mix Doobie has always been one of the kindest teachers to me during the school year. They always make sure to check up on me and ask how I'm feeling or if something is on my mind. And I want to take a moment to say how much I appreciate that, because it all makes me feel like teachers actually care. Even though I might have trouble opening up to teachers in general, I always know that if I ever need anyone to talk to, Ms. Doobie will always be there to listen to whatever I have to say.
Ms. Doobie has always been a really great person, and surely the best teacher at school. They taught me how to do a ton of things, and in my worst moments, they helped me with their energetic personality and great commentaries. Since the beginning of the year, I have admired how they do things, and with that amazing energy. I'm sure that when I leave, I will still remember them. I will miss them, and really, any day that I feel bad, I'm going to remember Ms. Doobie's attitude. I will miss going down the varsity hill with a sled or playing softball or just whatever. I'm going to miss how on some days when I felt tired, I will tell Ms. Doobie and they will help me. I'm also going to miss how whenever I felt bad, they used to tell me to go to the union and come back. I will miss every time we went to the woods with the cross-country skis. And in general, I'm going to miss what in my opinion is the best class of all, Ms. Doobie's outdoors education class.
Mr. Santos. Mr. Santos is the most committed person I know. He has gone to all the classes, no matter how he was feeling, bad or if he was not in the mood. He does not just always go to class, he gives his 100% and tries to always put a smile on everyone. He always tries to help us on every math problem or life problem. I also want to thank Mr. Santos, as after 2 other teachers went out this year, he accepted this challenge of taking our class in the middle of the year. And he always gives his best. My favorite moment with Mr. Santos was a day when we were in the math classroom and the class was going to start in 5 minutes. So we started juggling the masking tape as we both shared our love for soccer. Besides, he always randomly start dancing or make weird faces. I love you, Mr. Santos.
Mr. Santos was my math teacher. In his class, I didn't have such a good grade, but he always wanted me to do better and improve my grade because he was always helping everyone in class. He also helped me in his free time in study hall, remaking quizzes or helping me understand the topic. He always wanted me to have a good grade. Mr. Santos was also a very funny teacher. He was always in a good mood, and he always puts a smile on everyone's face. He was also a very good person out of class, playing sports in the gym with other people. Thank you, Mr. Santos.
Miss Gillian is one of the most patient and nice teachers I know. One way or another, even with our class being a complete mess, she always kept her cool and found a way to make us pay attention. Her teaching is always interesting and it catches my attention easily, thanks to the fact that she always makes constant interactions with the class. For example, the time when she made us give a short speech in front of the whole class, or when she made us debate between each other about certain topics.
Miss Gillian usually never stayed in the box with how she taught us English. She didn't just show us words and made us write sentences. She taught us in a very creative way, which might have felt a little bit stressful at the moment. But they clearly made us improve our language skills. I especially feel like I have gotten better at this new language thanks to Miss Gillian, and that will definitely stay with me for a very long time. Thank you, Miss Gillian, for everything.
Thank you, Miss Gillian, for everything.
Miss Southern, our science teacher, is always there to help with a project. Be it our spaghetti tower that was mysteriously launched into a wall, or a static electricity project. She has the most interesting topics to learn about and is always ready for class. She is always joking, lightening the mood of the entire class, and always doing everything for her students. She helps run track, teaches multiple classes, and works on the next project for her class. And she does all of this for her students. What I have learned from Ms. Subbott's class will stay with me for the rest of my life. I can't wait for science class next year.
Miss Southard always found a way to make the class entertaining. She didn't just teach us the complicated science concepts. She also did it in a way where we were all interested in learning and experimenting. Either it was shooting marshmallows around the classroom to learn what type of tube made the marshmallow go farther, or dropping an egg from a school building, trying to design a package that would protect it. Even if I wasn't all that interested in some of the science concepts, it was always easier to learn or listen when she explained how it worked. Even if I was all here at Hebron only for 1 year, I'm sure I will remember what Miss Southard has taught me, and for that, I'm grateful.
Cronin.
I want to start by saying thank you, Ms. Drown, for everything that you have done for the middle school over the past many years. Ms. Drown has been teaching at Hebron for 14 years, and she has really impacted my life and the lives of every person who has attended middle school here. All my siblings have had Ms. Drown, and I can always remember when I was younger, and my sisters would be practicing Worldly Wise on the couch with my dad. I never knew that I would be doing the same thing not many years later. Ms. Drown is an influential person at this school and makes lasting memories that stick with anyone that has had the opportunity to have her in English class. Thank you so much for everything you have done for Hebron Academy, and I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Miss Drown has taught me worldly wise words that I will remember for the rest of my life, and how to successfully write a good essay. Little did I know, when I first met her 3 years ago, she would impact my life so much. The first time I met her was on a trip to the beach before school started. I thought it was really funny that the teacher named Miss Drown would sign to chaperone a trip to the beach. Then I learned she's an avid sailor. Thank you, Miss Drown. Have a great retirement. You will be missed.
Eighth graders, great job. I love the icon. Okay, so now the power's back on. I'm not sure what that means, other than the power's back on. So, next thing I'm going to ask everyone to do is close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but think about the year 2047, 25 years from now. And while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce our accompanist this afternoon, Jack No, 10th grader Jack No. Round of applause for Jack. Jack is kind enough to accompany the processional. He'll be playing for the hymn, and he's going to play a little song for you now while Mr. Brown and I go think about the year 2047. We'll be back. Thank you, Jack. reunion in Cancun to celebrate their graduation from HAMS. Boy, is it really 2047?
Yep.
No wonder we feel so old. Oh,
Oh, speak for yourself, young man. Well, I wonder what these kids have been up to. They certainly had a lot of potential.
They sure did. Oh, but look here. It's LA and I. Remember LA?
I remember LA.
Oh, he was a world-renowned goalkeeper for the Mexico national football team until he finally retired a couple years ago. But get this, he famously did not allow a goal all season during the year that they won the World Cup.
Whoa.
No one will ever do that again. And now he's residing in his new house in San Luis, and he's spending more time with his large family and his 20 dogs that he's brought. 20 dogs. Good for LA.
Well, and look, here's Alfred Shue. Oh my goodness, he's that doctor who invented the cure for cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and now, he's the richest man alive. And he's used his money to alleviate world hunger. He was always such a thoughtful young man,
Sure was.
that Alfred.
Yeah.
He's also a big basketball fan. Well, I can't believe this. He says he bought the Los Angeles Lakers.
No kidding.
And guess who his star player is?
I don't know.
Terry Kai.
Terry, he was the star of the HAMS basketball team in 2022, wasn't he? One and only, holy cow. Well, Terry, he went on, he graduated from Harvard University, highest honors, of course, and he's a famous mathematician, and he finally cracked the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. And of course, he also has his own line of basketball shoes called Terry's Treads. He's very successful, as we knew he would be.
Yeah, we knew that. Well, speaking of basketball shoes, here's something about Wolfie Egan. Remember Wolfie? You have to forget Wolfie. It says here he's a famous fitness trainer who owns more shoes than Foot Locker. What's that? You want shoes? Woo, impressive. And this is all after winning a gold medal for Team USA in the giant slalom in the 2030 Olympics. And making millions of dollars, no surprise, managing real estate. He sure has been busy. Didn't he have a girlfriend in 8th grade?
Oh, I think he did.
Girlfriend. What's that?
Drea? Here's an article about her. Now, she may have dated Wolf, but it turns out she married Ronan Rule. Well, it says here, but you know they are handsome. So now Andrea, she is fluent in 5 different languages, and she is one of the most in-demand and highest paid actors in the world. She has houses in Paris, New York, LA, and Mexico. And she also runs a charity that provides yoga to underprivileged youth. Doesn't surprise me a bit.
Doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. He's not going to be outdone. Her husband, Roman Newell, he made a fortune as a class bodybuilder. Was always at the gym. Like in 6th grade, he's in there pumping iron. 7th grade, he's pumping iron. 8th grade, he's looked at the whole building. Okay. Anyway, after that, as if that wasn't enough, he went back to his successful hockey and lacrosse careers, it says, and now he's the head coach of the Boston Bruins.
Wow.
It also says he's a mathematician in his spare time. That Roman, he could do it all.
He could do it all. Wow. Impressive. Wow. Well, there sure is a lot of talent. There was a lot of talent in that 8th grade class. And speaking of talent, remember Alexa Allamont-Scheffler?
Oh, yeah.
She has had more careers than anyone else in human history. That is not surprising. Alexa won the gold medal in figure skating, not only at the 2026 Winter Olympics, but also in 2030.
I skated in the ring with her once.
You tell her all she knows after.
I don't think so.
No? Now she's a well-known pediatrician in La Jolla, California, and in her spare time she does legal work for those in need. She says she loves all of her jobs and splits her time between Mexico City and Puerto Rico and Los Angeles. Now I seem to remember she had a boyfriend in 8th grade too.
Yes.
Who was that? Was it Ron? Mr. Ron Mendoza.
Ron Rodrigo Mendoza. He lives mainly in Mexico City, where he sometimes stars, OMG, I just love this, in the daytime telenovela, La Rosa de Guadalupe. And if that wasn't enough, he also owns a fancy Italian restaurant in Mexico City.
Wow, busy guy.
Very
Busy guy.
busy.
Oh, man, wow. Well, now look here. There's Brody Patton. Remember Brody?
Yeah, I remember Brody.
What a nice boy he was. Yep. He's leaving his signature everywhere.
I know. Right on our whiteboard.
On your whiteboard? You write on the board in Spanish class too all the time. Say Brody. I don't know what they do. Anyway, so Brody graduated from MIT, where he played hockey and lacrosse and studied engineering. And after graduating, get this, he started his own company selling racing lawnmowers. He engineered and designed these himself. He made millions with those mowers, and he revolutionized the lawn care industry. Apparently, he is happily retired and living in Brunswick, Maine. We should go visit him. That's not too far away.
I want one of those lawnmowers.
I do too. I hate mowing.
I love mowing the lawn.
You mow my lawn.
I'm gonna get on that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds fun. Yeah. Okay, so here's another one.
What's a big
Here's
class?
another one. Danielle Salinas Valdez. Remember him?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, he was a bright young man. It says here that he was a world-renowned sensei and karate coach. And now he's coaching the U.S. Olympic team. He made his fortune as a Twitch streamer. There must be some kind of technology.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, anyway, he loved his technology.
He loved his phone.
He must be dead. I wonder if he's still living.
Could be.
Oh, wait, no, apparently not. Because it says here he lives in the White House. What? How does he live in the White House? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, because he's the first husband living with the President of the United States, Cindy Gill.
Unbelievable. You should have known that. Sylvie was president. Sylvie Gill. Oh, my goodness. Well, Sylvie graduated from Harvard University and went on to teach mathematics and engineering at Harvard. But then she got bored with that and went into politics in 6 years. And with Sylvie, it didn't take long before she was elected president of the US of A. And in her spare time, she runs a veterinary practice and travels back and forth to New Zealand in a boat that she made herself. Impressive, but not surprising.
Made it stuff.
Thought I recognized her.
I'm still wearing the life jacket.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
But, okay, wow. We knew Sylvie was president. Like, how could we forget that? I know. I'm so excited when she got elected. All right. Remember Cale Proctor?
Of course.
Yeah. It says here, Cale graduated from MIT with Brody, and now he's a famous architect and home builder. He started that very successful business after making all his money as a video game programmer. What's it say here? Oh, with Star Wars themed video games.
Yes. Star Wars, yeah.
Looks like he's back living in Maine and running a training facility for search and rescue dogs. Oh, he loves his dogs so much. I'm not surprised.
That's great. That's great. What a nice guy. Oh, and look here. Diego Blanco. Guess what? No surprise here. Diego is a world famous soccer player. He is also on that Mexican national team that won the World Cup. But after that, he became a famous clothes model for Polo Ralph Lauren. Believe that? I think I've seen him in those ads.
Oh, is that Diego?
That's Diego. You know what? I remember that Boston trip. Mr. B, can we go to Polo? Can we go to the Polo? It's only half a mile away. That's why. He wanted to go to the Polo store. Boy, it all makes sense now. But you know what? In his spare time, he also runs an accounting business in Mexico City. Boy, what a busy guy.
Another busy one.
Another busy guy.
Oh, well, talk about busy. Listen to this. Remember Emily Kimball?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Looks like she graduated with a degree in fashion and interior design from the School of Visual Arts in NYC. Of course she's in NYC.
Of course she's in New York.
Yeah, and now she's a famous world traveler and influencer. It says here she's been on the cover of Vogue magazine 2 times. She also has her own interior design business at a school, a design school in NYC, where she teaches classes when she's not busy designing interiors for Harry Styles' latest mansion. Look at this great photo of her with her happy little Bichon Frise all decked out in a designer collar.
Cute. The doors right there. It's yeah. First, I had to do a big article on this one. Evie Will, remember Evie?
Yes.
Gosh, what a great kid she was. And look, and talk about gold medals. Evie added a few to her collection. She won the gold medal in the high jump and the 100-meter dash at the 2028 Summer Olympics. She was fast, that one, right? And she got her picture on the Wheaties box that year.
Looks familiar.
It wasn't Caitlyn Jenner, I know that.
No.
And then after the Olympics, she went to school to be a veterinarian, and now she works with horses in Colorado and Texas. She saves old racehorses and gives them a good end-of-life experience. What a nice thing to do.
She was so nice. Did she have a boyfriend? I think it was somebody in 7th grade. Tall, handsome.
No, well, maybe we'll read about that.
Oh, yeah, we'll find out, yeah. Same place, it wasn't me. All right, here's Hernan Garza Jimenez. Remember Hernan?
Worse.
What a nice smile he had.
Oh, yes.
Look at him now. After a career playing soccer, guess what? He was also on that Mexican national team that won the World Cup. He became a very successful businessman on Wall Street.
Whoa.
It looks like he longed for his roots in Mexico, though, and wanted to make life better for Mexican people, because it says he went back there and ran for president.
El Presidente?
And won!
Whoa!
Everyone knows him as the Mexican president with the biggest smile. Way to go, Hernan. I can't believe it. 2 presidents in this class.
That's
President of
impressive.
the U.S., president of Mexico.
What are the odds? Well, look here. Speaking of impressive, remember Javier Ortega?
I thought he was going to be president.
Well, hey, you know, he could still be, I guess, but I don't know, maybe Hernan has something to say about that.
Okay.
Anyway, he is one of the most successful soccer players in the world, and he has just passed Ronaldo and Messi as the highest scoring soccer player ever. And of course, he was on that World Cup team with Ale and Hernan, Diego, and Ferran. And after he got done with soccer, he became a businessman, traveling the world. Get this, selling fine skin care products.
Skincare.
Oh, he did have nice skin, I guess, yeah. So now word has it, he will be making a guest appearance on La Rosa de Guadalupe, yes. Rosa Guadalupe, yes. With Ferran. So he may even run against Fernan in the next presidential election.
Oh, he still has a chance. All right. Okay. All right. Wow. Thinking about Javier makes me think about Joaquin. Joaquin Alore Cavazos.
Yes.
Remember him?
I do remember.
Oh, yeah. Look
Oh,
at
yes.
this. He was always a big American football fan, right?
Yes, he
It
was.
says here he is now coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL.
Wow.
Cincinnati!
Mexico to Cincinnati, huh?
Yeah. And before he joined the Bengals, he was a pro golfer and won the Masters in 2028, beating out Tiger Woods by, get this, 3 strokes.
That's unbelievable.
He had so much success with those 2 sports, it's rumored that he is the richest man in the world, passing Alfred.
Wow.
And he's married to a woman named Emma.
Emma.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Did that sound familiar?
Isn't there Emma at night?
Oh, I think so.
No. I think they know. Oh, look at it. Look. Oh, my goodness. Look who's here. Lisa Strong.
Lisa Strong?
Remember Lisa?
I do.
Oh, she had what a sharp mind that kid had.
Yes.
Not surprisingly, she graduated from Harvard University, summa cum laude, of course, in English and science. You know, boy, there were quite a few Harvard grads.
There were. Not only that, she could have taught my classes.
Yeah.
She should have taught them.
Yes, it's probably right. Now, she went on to become a famous writer, winning the Pulitzer Prize in Literature for her 10th novel, Framed on French Girl.
Oh, I love that book! That's such a good book!
Twist at the end. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Now later, she took a break from writing to work at NASA, where she discovered a new comet. It's called Lewis's Comet. Imagine that.
Amazing.
She splits her time now between Maine and Florida, and in her spare time, she tries to keep track of Sylvie and her boat.
Ooh, track her on that?
Those two were so close.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Trace. Remember Trace
Oh, of
Johnson?
course.
Here's Trace Johnson. sneakers. He's known for his famous YouTube channel, Sneakerhead.
No kidding.
After he retired from the sneaker business, he became a famous singer and rapper. It says here his big hit is,
Yeah, what's his big hit?
it's called, Oscar, Can I See Your Spanish Homework? He's now retired and working as a game warden in Maine. What a hairy life he's had.
That's impressive work. Yeah, great work. All right, well, look here. Oscar Chronicles. Remember Oscar?
yes.
What a nice young man. Boy, what are we doing now? Well, look, it says here, he also graduated from MIT with highest honors, and he has since had a wide variety of careers. Get a look at this. He's been a scientist, a stockbroker, a kindergarten teacher, a poet, a police officer.
Police officer?
I know. Yeah, and finally, a social media influencer who's famous for breeding chihuahuas for celebrities. Sheesh! Imagine that. And fun fact, he's also fluent in Gaelic. Yeah. Wow, we knew he would lead an interesting life. Good for Oscar. Huh.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Look, here's Pato Marcos Sanchez.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness, he had some energy, didn't he? Woo! It says here that he was also, surprise, on the World Cup winning soccer team that Javier, Ale, Diego, Ferran, and Hernan were on.
Yeah.
I guess that team was basically the HAMS soccer team for 2021-22.
The same team.
Yeah. Look, here's a photo of the whole team.
Oh, wow.
Don't they look great?
They look great.
Oh, big, so grown up.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I wonder if Coach Whittler and Coach Candace coached them to the World Cup.
They did.
Yeah.
Check in on them. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Now, after retired from soccer, he took up 2 different professions. First, he was a well-known stand-up comedian in Mexico City until he became the first ever, never heard of this before, the first ever rapper astronaut.
Rapper astronaut. Well, you know what? He was always really a little out there, wasn't he?
He was out there, all right.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what a class. Boy, impressive.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we should get on social media to get in touch with them.
Yeah. You think they remember us?
No. Well, we remember them.
Well, I don't remember much of anything. You know, now, do you still have that Snap Talk on your phone?
I think I've got TikTok.
TikChat? Is that Instapound, Instacart? I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. No, I still can get my Facebook open from 2020. It's been locked since 2020.
I gave up on that.
Damn.
Facebook today.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. Well, geez.
I think I'll take a little sale.
You take a little sale? All right, I'll go with you. All right. Don't fall over this now. Come on. I've got one more other one.
Oh, just babble.
All right. It's slideshow time, but I'm not sure the slideshow is going to work with the PowerPoint. Hang with it here. Let's just see. If not, we can certainly send it to you. Okay, that looks good. Let's see. Thank you, Mrs. Hemmings. I think this may work. And if you guys can't see, you can like slide over, come in the middle. If you can't see the screen. Oh, is it gonna work? Nope. Oh, okay. Anyone more tech savvy than me? This is promising, but yeah. Help from the audience participation. Okay, no? This is the slideshow. I don't know how it would. I think the power of just trying to get the play.
No space to rent in this town. You're out of luck. She's in what you have to have. Traffic stuck. You don't need it anywhere. If I can find to take you out of this place, somewhere you can land. I have returned your place. It's a beautiful day.
Okay, so thanks to Mr. Crofton for the slideshow. Okay, so now we would like to recognize each of our students. So sixth graders, you may get in your line. Okay, so we'll begin with the sixth grade. This sixth grade is a really remarkable group of students. They're hard workers, they're eager learners, and they're motivated to do their best. They are an active group, and they certainly don't lack energy or enthusiasm. They're also a social group and a determined group. They have shown a great deal of growth both socially and academically this year, and we know that that will continue next year. Cora Camp. Amelia Fumiento. Perrin Gill. Finn Miller. Sophia Ozuna. And Ellen Shea. Ladies and gentlemen, our 6th grade. All right, 6th graders, you can head back. Oscar Hanan. Paola Hernandez Renega. Alexandra Hounsel. Kessia Canenza. William Malloy. Kaylin Mully. Veronica Perry. Corbin Poussard. Clover Pross. Borja Rigardosa. Sawyer Shanaman. Elizabeth Stokes. Isaac Sullivan. James Toby. Ezra Sappas. Emma Rose Vining. Henry Walter. Hao Ming Howie Wu. I told you we were a big school this year. So 7th grade, come on down for the photo op. Ladies and gentlemen, the 7th grade. All right, 8th graders, let's get in on line. Thank you. So now on to our 8th grade. It has been a year of growth and transition for our 8th grade class. They have worked hard toward the goal of leading by example and we thank them for their strong efforts and for their leadership. They have experienced a great deal of growth and maturation during the school year, and we know that they are all ready for what lies ahead. Alexa Alama Scheffler. Joaquin Alatorre Cavazos. Alejandro Anea. Diego Blanco. Josiwe Terry Kai. Nicholas Wolf Kurt Egan. A big fan out there. Hernan Garza Jimenez. Sylvie Gill. Oscar Granros. Trace Johnson. Emily Kimball. Patricio Marcos Sanchez. Ronan Newell. Javier Ortega. Rody Patno. Cale Proctor. Andrea Pushkar Hesselman. Ferran Riverdosa. Danielle Salinas Valdez. Louisa Strong. Evie Willer. Young Peng Alfred Shu. Come on down 8th grade for the photo op.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th grade.
All right, almost done. So our last order of business this evening is to recognize and say goodbye to a middle school institution. I think we heard in Ronan's speech that Ms. Brown is retiring this year. After 14 years, she's going to give retirement a try. We're hoping she finds it boring and may come back, but no guarantees there, that's for sure. Ms. Brown began teaching in the middle school in 2008, and during her time at HAMS, she taught in 6th grade, and 7th grade, and 8th grade English, 6th and 7th grade science. She has been a middle school advisor. She has chaperoned countless middle school field trips, and there's a story with each one of those, that's for sure. She's led many excellent middle school drama productions and has been involved in just about every facet of middle school life during her time here. Throughout those years, she has always challenged and encouraged students to be the best they can be. She has been the gold standard against which all of the rest of us have tried to measure up. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get by without her, but I'm grateful for all that she has done for the middle school during the past 14 years. Ms. Brown, thank you for everything that you have done. You have made such a difference in the lives of so many students and so many colleagues. We wish you the best as you sail into the sunset or sail into the sunrise, wherever you're sailing. Don't forget about us. Come back and visit. Everybody, please join me in a round of applause for Ms. Brown. I had to find a hanging plant as large as her influence has been, so that's about the biggest one I can find. So now we've reached the end of our program, so if you all would like to rise and join us in the singing of the Hebron hymn, we would appreciate that. The words to the song are in the back of the program. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. Please join us outside for cake and maybe an all-school photo op for our students as they recess.